4,000 euros using official rate is like a great deal. Hello and welcome back to Shared Takes. Thank you very much for all the love that you showed me in my first video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing with your family and friends. I really appreciate it. If you've not subscribed, please do so now and turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time I post content. On today's edition of Shared Takes, I will be talking about why I chose France and why you might too, or why it might be a good idea for you as well. Every time people ask me why France, I mean, like everybody's mostly focused on other countries at the moment. So whenever I get asked that question, my default response is it was a personal decision. And I feel like the decision of where you want to study should definitely be personal to you, depending on what your goals are. You need to know your why. So why do you want to study abroad? Why did you choose the course that you chose? Or why are you considering the course that you're considering? What do you want to use the degree for? What is your long-term plan? Are you looking for where you want to stay back? Is it supposed to be like some mini immigration plan for you and all of that? Answering those questions will help you determine where might be best for you. I think that's just the first step. So for me, why did I choose France? So I'd been working for over 11 years and I needed to pivot into a more strategic role. I mean, like a lot of people do that without necessarily getting another degree. But for me, I wanted the degree because I was very clear as to exactly what I wanted. So I was looking for, good schools essentially. And then I heard about France and how good the education system is and all of that. And I thought, oh, let me just do some research. And then I did some research, found a couple of schools. The school that I'm currently enrolled in is one of them. And I just went to the website, checked out the courses that they had on offer that were taught in English. I later realized that it was a top 100 business school in the world, and that was such a big deal to me. I was like, oh my god, here I was looking for a good school, and then I just stumbled on a top 100 business school. And I also think that they're like top 20 in Europe or something, so I'm like, oh, even better. So that was one of the reasons why I chose the school that I chose. Also, the course is taught in English, so I don't have to bother too much about whether I would understand whatever I was being taught or whether my French level could handle that. There are courses taught in French, and you can opt for that if you wish. But just bear in mind that for you to take a course in French, you'll be asked to write a language test or show proof of a language test. And the minimum that you can have to be eligible to be taught in French is a B2, I believe. If you don't know what a B2 is or you don't know what that is, maybe this is not for you, because obviously if you're fluent in French and you've ever written any test, you will understand what I'm talking about. So there's that as well. My third major reason was that, like I mentioned, I was already learning French and I just thought that the immersion would be good for me. Now I have no excuse to not be fluent because I'm literally living in France and I have to use the language every day. I have to interact with the people that live here. I have to listen and speak and write and read because, there's signs everywhere and all of that. So I just thought it would be a good challenge to give myself this 1 year to actually like drastically improve my French. So those were my top 3 reasons. From that, there are lots of articles about why you should study in France and all. So I'm going to share some other reasons by Campus France. By the way, if you ever choose to school in France, please bear in mind that you have to route your visa application through Campus France. Campus France is a French government body that is present in, I think, almost every country. And if you're coming to school in France, you can't apply directly to the embassy. You have to go through Campus France. There's actually someone that told me of her experience. She applied from the US and just went straight to the embassy, and they bounced her and asked her to go back to Campus France. And she had lost that money because obviously it's visa application fee is non-refundable. Just bear that in mind and don't make that kind of mistake when you're planning to submit your visa application. According to Campus France, France is number 3 in world-class education. And they quoted some statistics as recent as 2021, and I think that's recent enough to actually be relevant to this conversation right now. So if you're schooling somewhere and they're ranked number 3 in the world, like there are lots of countries in the world, so number 3 is not bad at all. Also, you get reasonably priced government-funded education. So the thing about France is that if you're going to a public university, it is already subsidized by the government. So you're paying like a lot less than you would if you went to a private school. So for instance, I'm in a private school and I'm paying a lot for my fees. But if you are in a government-funded school, you probably pay between 2,500 and 4,000 euros for the entire year, and that's not bad at all, considering that if you actually have your admission letter, the invoice from the school or account details from the school, you can pay that using the official rate, especially if you're applying from Nigeria. So that's not bad at all. 4,000 euros using official rate is like a great deal. The third reason listed by them is that French is good for your CV, and I'm sure that you agree with that. I think French is also the number 3 most popular business language in the world. It just opens up opportunities for you in terms of the kinds of jobs that you can apply to. If you're running a business, how fast you can expand into other markets. Of course, if you want to also stay back and work here and live here, you have to know French, because there are English speaking jobs. How about interaction with your colleagues? How about meetings? How about stuff like that? You just cannot do without the language, essentially. So French is good for your CV. That's another reason for you to study in France, because even if you're taught in English, you would get the language at some point. There are also over 3,500 schools to choose from. I think that's a large number, considering that France is not such a big or huge country. So no matter what you are looking to study, no matter the kind of city that you choose to live in, I think that you should find something that would be suited to what your plans are here somehow. It's just a question of how willing are you to do your research. So those are 4 of the reasons why you should study in France according to Campus France. I'm going to link the actual article in the description box, and then you can definitely check it out, and you can also do your own research on other reasons why you can study in France as said by other people, and then make your decision. But let's chat in the comments about what your motivations are, why you want to school abroad, the countries that you're currently considering. Thank you. And again, if you haven't subscribed, please like this video, share it with someone that it will be helpful to, and I will see you next week. Bye.